Hi, I'm Saren.
And I'm Ray.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics. Gimme, gimme.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
You are muted, Bill Hellfire.
I said that's friend to the show, Kelly Thompson.
Oh, they're all friends of the show. I didn't claim no hacks.
Especially Luca.
Oh, yes, more than friends. But yes, welcome. No. Welcome back, kids, to another week of the Capes and Lunatics. That's right. I am Phil, joining me as always, that freshly shortened sheep from New Jersey it is.
Charlie, the Professor Issa.
And that fancy queen of Walmart, it is.
Hey y'all, it's Lil Hellfire, and it's your Capes and Lunatics. Jeez, Phil, we've only been doing this for like 212 episodes. Get it together.
That's how. I'm taking back the. I was going to say, I'm taking back the lead from the Australians, even though, you know.
Ray's not gonna hear this. Exactly.
How is that already a drop?
I hear
Phil works like that. Ray's not gonna hear this.
Hey, it's easy.
How hard is it? I was sober that day. Dang it.
How do you know?
The nut. Because I know. The nut jar.
Anyway, so you think. I don't have a lot of news, but like Charlie just mentioned, yeah, they opened up, what was that? What do they call that? Avengers,
Academy?
Yeah. On
Campus?
Yes, on the West Coast. Because, you know.
Oh, over in Disneyland? Is that what we're talking about?
I guess, yeah. But, you know, they were smart enough not to put it in Florida.
Well, we have but two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Is anybody getting weird, like, repeats on everything that's being said?
No. No.
Okay.
Charlie, can you hear me one time?
I can hear you, but I will hear you again in 5 seconds. Let me hop out and come back in.
Okay. Hoppity, hop,
oh yeah,
hoppity, hop.
It was great for him to get his shield at Avengers Academy. Yeah, that was great. Did
yeah.
You see it?
Anthony Mackie. Yeah.
A lot of happy kids.
Oh yeah, but I guess Disney was smart enough not to put it in Florida, huh?
I don't think that Disney World has the room for it. They've been working on some other stuff.
That's what I was.
Disneyland is a local park, whereas Disney World is more like where all the like actual real tourists come and where they make most of their money.
Yeah.
So they're more focused on Star Wars and like the Disney princesses. That's the specific like vibes at Disney World right now. So
that's what I was gonna say when he brought it up. Is like maybe California has more space than Florida.
I don't know if they bought some more in Anaheim. So I don't know.
More solid ground, not swampland.
True.
Yeah, well, I
don't know. Anaheim's a pretty big swamp. I can say that I'm from San Diego.
What?
I accidentally clicked on on our broadcast. So I was getting like the tape delay playing on my Facebook while we're doing this. Anyway, so yeah, it's over in California, which is disappointing because I know that Tristan would have liked to go see it. But I think they always start now in California, and then they franchise it out. But I do find it interesting that it is like the West Coast Avengers now.
You guys been sitting on that, Jeff.
Well, you know, because they got to build out something for the Avengers. And, you know, they blew up the New York facility. And Stark's dead. So, you know.
So who's funding
it? It makes sense. It's the synergy of it all. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, you know, and they got to stay away from New York because they don't know what they want to do with all those New York superheroes they just created.
Yeah, put them in California. That's where everybody belongs. Mm-hmm. All the crazy people right in California, yep.
I mean, look.
Well, you know, it means they don't have to answer. Well, what about Luke Cage for like another 2 or 3 years? You know, because that's actually the thing. You know, like you can have Luke Cage be in Harlem forever, and the rest of the Avengers would never go to Harlem and find out about him. It's very believable.
It is.
Harlem could be its.
Although Harlem is very gentrified right now, so I don't know. I feel like the Scarlet Witch gets her coffee in Harlem. That's the vibe I get from her.
Well, she's off at Mount Wendigore now, so. Even they went to New Jersey, you know. They were.
New Jersey. Oh, how there.
Hive of scum and villainy. Curious. Beat you to it, Phil.
Thank you.
Well, you know, it's just a safe place. Yeah, but hey, Mount Wendigore, that's where Scarlet Witch is. That's pretty cool. They're introducing Spider-Woman in the Sonyverse.
Oh yes, I did see that. Yes,
of the Into the Spider-Verse sequel.
Yes,
which is interesting because they did not have the rights to her. So that was like one of the like big characters that Sony wasn't allowed to have the rights to because she came into existence after the deal. So that they're integrating her into it. It's kind of interesting. So, you know...
anything to keep Tom Holland out of those crappy Sony films. Mark my words.
You know, well, he's not even going to be in the freaking Marvel films, so...
Mark my words.
They've already said that, like, no, they're not in it. It's... Don't believe everything you read on the internets.
But how is Trolls going to eat if they don't believe everything on the internet?
Oh.
Don't
believe
the Troll. Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, well, the internet is full of people very mad about everything.
It's fine having a sausage fest.
Did you see the image from the rap day on Thor Ragnarok?
No.
And
I'm not checking for Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, don't we have Buff Thor back?
Well, yeah, we got Buff Thor, although he's not flexing because you know it's international. Don't flex your arms there or something. But no, but they had Taika Waititi in like he was kind of dressed like Hogan the Grim, which because at first I didn't realize that was Taika Waititi who was next to him. I'm thinking, which means okay, so is he still Korg? Is he another character? Is he another one of the Aesir? Is he another pantheon of gods? Is he an Eternal that we're going to be introduced to?
When you direct, you can be whoever you want.
Well, I mean, that's the fun part of directing, yes. Hey, Jon Favreau made them, make him a Mandalorian armor. So...
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like, you know, Scarlet just before the dance, you know, just suck it in. He was the heavy machine gunner, because, you know, Mandalorians need a heavy too. We love you, Jon Favreau. You were the father of
Come be on our podcast, Jon Favreau.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I would just talk to him about his cooking show, though. Like, y'all can be nerds, but I'm going to ask him about the cooking stuff.
What was it?
I like his cooking show, actually. I like the claymation, little interstitials. That's very nice.
What was it like?
That's one of my favorite parts.
Or I talk about Vince Vaughn, actually. Like, how come you never got your buddy a job at Marvel? What's the deal behind that?
Maybe they did the background check.
Yeah.
Hey-oh!
You know, not for nothing. Marvel is like, they like to keep it family friendly, you know. And yeah, you know, that whole swingers vibe. I mean, you can see where problems might have shown up on set. And, you know.
Those two together are a hoot. Yeah.
That was in their defense, that was like, you know, 5 years ago. It was a different world. No, it wasn't that different. But you know, that whole swingers vibe, that was a different world, and that was
like what, early 2000s?
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, jumping, and it's like, hey, remember the 1920s? Weren't they awesome? It's like, well, for some people.
I mean, we're just repeating the cycle, a global health crisis, Great Depression looming,
racism, all the hits keep coming back. Yeah.
Well, that never goes out of style in America, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now people are,
It's
talking about it
better.
more. They're talking about, hey, our Portuguese brother, Tom Hanks, has done a article in the New York Times, which is about saying stop being stupid about American history. Don't whitewash it. That's stupid. You're
Isn't
dumb.
that the point of I'm confused. Maybe we all live in different Americas. I don't know.
Well, the point of history is to dig through the unsavory aspects of it and to know it. And
don't tell Texas textbooks makers because they don't want to hear that.
Well, no, like they were saying, don't tell kids about Tulsa. They'll hate America. But it's like, don't they teach the kids in Germany about the Nazis and stuff? So you don't.
Yes,
well,
they
you know
do.
what they say. Germany's ashamed of their history. America kind of isn't. Sorry to break it to you guys.
Yeah, no, actually, we are ashamed of it. That's why we don't teach it.
That's why we don't teach it, yeah.
That's really the thing. It's like, if we actually could just embrace,
They don't want to change anything, though, is the point.
Yeah.
See, yeah, it's like when I think back to my 20s, like, oh my gosh, you should know the crazy stuff I did.
Oh.
And I'm not ashamed of it, but I also know I would never do that again.
I'm just glad there was no Facebook around.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like, you kind of need to know your past to build your future.
I'm just saying the history books are pretty already whitewashed. To get rid of whatever is there is might as well just take a state history class like Texas does. Don't even need American government. Screw it.
It's just like the Wright brothers invented the airplane, and then we had World War II, and then the Beatles.
But the thing is that, maybe because I did have a better history education than most people because my parents paid for it,
Ooh.
and I got. Well, yeah.
Even that, though, I guarantee you.
Well, nowadays, no. Now they're paying to keep your kid ignorant, which is weird. I don't even understand that. It's like, because I read about Tulsa in 8th grade. It wasn't like a big thing, but it was like, oh, hey, remember, we also killed lots of people. But my takeaway was, wow, look at how successful they were before they got killed. That's pretty impressive.
And that's why they got killed.
Why
does Batman wear black? Because he doesn't want to get shot. Why does Robin wear a colorful uniform? Because Batman doesn't want to get shot.
Every episode now.
But the idea
take a drink, kids, if you're playing at home.
The Lilith bingo. That's what I need. Capes and Lunatics bingo. Okay, Lil talked about Batman not getting shot. Take a drink.
Yes, but penultimate. There we go. One more for me. Can't let her get ahead of me.
Uncle Ben, great power, great responsibility. Lil, take a drink.
Mephisto confirmed.
But yeah, it's so sad about what's going on.
What?
And it always goes back to Texas and those damn textbook makers.
Yeah.
They should not have the power that they have. It is absolutely insane.
I mean, a lot of the public wouldn't know about Tulsa. Again, we got to thank
Watchmen.
we got to thank our friends over at Watchmen for putting that back out into the
How
public.
sad and amusing, but thankful for it,
But and again, that is Tom Hanks's point in this.
Yeah.
Which is that, right now it's up to artists to tell the stories. And I think artists are like, you know what? I don't want to always tell that story. Can't history teachers tell these stories? Can't this be given?
Well, you can't even get a proper health class or sex education. So you want, we're in shambles over here.
It is weird that going to a Catholic grade school and high school, somehow I got a far more progressive education.
The nuns are progressive, okay? Thank your nuns.
We didn't even have nuns. It was just...
You didn't have nuns?
No, we just had,
Vatican
II theology, man.
Oh.
Very, very Vatican II. We were like, Pope said we had to be progressive now, so shut up and be progressive.
Oh, no.
Did you see the guy on Twitter that tried to correct the Pope about not hating the poor? Oh, God.
Yeah, well, you see, that's America. And that's America.
Why think people think
a hot dog bun.
People think the way they're going to get famous is by just throwing out radical ideas, no matter how crazy they sound. Then it's like,
hey man, Joe Rogan has a following, and it is scary.
I mean, hey, look, Trump had a following.
The Joe Rogan to incel pipeline, the man net or whatever, that whole pipeline is super scary.
Yeah.
The manosphere.
And he gets paid millions to podcast. Many millions to podcast.
Yeah, well,
and now Spotify is censoring him, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And you know what? But the reality is that, he gets... People like to be told things that make them feel good. And it makes people feel good to hear that, hey, wouldn't it be great to be a rich dude who can have sex with people and be cool about it? And that would be cool. I mean, I've never listened to his podcast. I have no idea what he podcasts about. I just know that he sells boner pills on it. And I know...
Like every right-wing person, they all sell their little special vitamins. Another little rabbit hole, don't fall down.
Like people say, he's apparently male goop. I've heard him described as. I don't know what goop is.
Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle brand.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know there's a business called Goop.
Eggs in the hoo-ha.
I know there's a business called Joe Rogan. I don't know what either of those things really are.
To be honest, I trust Joe Rogan before I trust Gwyneth Paltrow. She gives outright outlandish, like, oh yeah, steam your yanni, steam it right off, ladies.
I don't trust anybody who isn't, that doesn't have a list.
I don't trust anybody who doesn't know that when you're drinking alkaline water, when you put lemon juice in it, you're defeating the purpose of drinking alkaline water. Like right then and there, you should know. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I can't with Gwyneth Paltrow.
You actually should just drink water. That's just water.
Hey.
You can actually get the distilled water at the store, and that's just water, and that's good.
Distilled water is just water that's been sitting around, but okay.
No, actually, it's water it's been condensed.
Stagnant. No thanks.
No, it's boiled and condensed. You're thinking of spring water.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes, spring water.
Why are you guys paying for Florida spring water? Don't you know what we do in these waters? You're idiots.
Don't you know it's buried? Don't you know it's buried in them waters? Go to Lil's house.
Well,
bottled water is such a scam. God, we can't be doing conspiracies. That's for the Patreon.
Can we not insult boner pills?
It's not a conspiracy. They're upfront about it. They're like, hey, have some water from the spring the bear just came out of.
And can we not insult boner pills? We're looking for sponsors. Come on.
Oh, true. Hey, I mean, for Capes After Dark, I don't know. Viagra, Cialis, are those still a thing?
Yeah, they still sell them.
They don't make the commercials for them anymore, so I don't know. Just like I'm not sure if they still do Zoloft. So
I mean, I think
no more. I mean, when I was growing up, Zoloft commercials, as far as the eye could see, and boner pills. That's it.
Because it was new. When it was new, you had to advertise, especially when there was.
Oh, everybody.
Well, we've got another boner pill. Would you like the pink boner pill or the blue boner pill? By the way, who the freak sells a pink boner pill?
Because a lot of white guys were using it. I guess they wanted it to blend in. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'll see myself.
Whoa! What she's not drunk, kids.
Camouflage. Just tape it to your boner.
I can see that.
In case of emergency.
What did you say?
Nobody told Rob. For the love of God, nobody told Rob. Nobody told Rob. Penis is a medical term, and you can fight me.
It is.
Dong is a medical term. Fight me, nerds.
That less so. But still.
Philip, come on, pull us back on track.
Okay, I was going to say I don't have a lot, but can I shout out a hero?
Oh, you actually have a lot? Okay.
I said I don't. I said
we're not going to talk about my boy Bezos and MGM.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
He's
Get ready for it, Prime users. Amazon Prime's about to be popping.
Okay. Well, so here's what he now owns. He owns James Bond.
He owns Trump's Apprentice.
Oh,
he does. True story.
Oh, goodness. That means he's going
to release the bloopers.
Outtakes.
Mark my words. Yes. The bloopers. If you thought grabbing by the boop was bad, just wait.
Yes.
Oh, big league.
So we're going to be getting to see all those. So that'll be fun. lovely when content gets, now that explains why he kind of overpaid for MGM's. Like, why did he overpay so much? Well, technically,
crazy like a fox. He's got a beef with that man.
People.
So.
Oh, you don't want people pay for Trump footage? Oh.
Oh yeah, well you're gonna hear trust me, because he like that guy who killed his wife. He took the dang microphone into the bathroom with him. So you probably got all sorts of nonsense on that.
Oh, is that why Trump shut down his blog this week?
That's why he did actually end up doing this. You can't change my mind about it.
Nice.
When rich people get into a beef, it's like when Justin Timberlake talked crap about Michael Jackson, he bought his catalog. I'm just saying. And he did that to Paul McCartney too, but
And to be fair, comparing Jeff Bezos to Donald Trump as a rich person,
or even a person.
Oh!
I kid.
Yeah.
I never like to punch
fair,
down.
I'm not quite sure who's the non-person in that.
Oh!
Well, at least Jeff Bezos is living up to being Lex Luthor. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I want. Now I just need Batman to come out. Or Superman. One of the two. We got Lex Luthor. Has entered the chat.
So we've got our supervillain. Now we just need a superhero. Oh boy!
Come on, Warren Buffett. You're not too old. I swear you're not too old, Warren Buffett.
Ukulele man.
Oh, we need to start.
Rain no more.
We need to start a Kickstarter, man. Buy us some superpowers.
Yeah, no, they don't. It's not a thing. And if anything that Jeff Bezos will tell us is that you can't punch Jeff Bezos. As much as you'd like to, no matter how strong you are, you can't punch Jeff Bezos because he's Jeff Bezos. At most, you're going to just punch him, and he'll get up and say, well, that was very rude. That's assaulting a person. That's actually illegal in most states, and you're probably going to be arrested now.
Have you guys ever seen the South Park episode about Amazon? Because if you haven't, please go watch it. It is effing hilarious. They have him with, like, the big brain, and it's hilarious.
He's a delight. Anywho, yeah.
Is that it? Is that all the news we have? Is that Jeff Bezos bought MGM for way too much money to get back at Trump?
I was gonna say, let me call out a hero this week. Neil Gaiman said he's sick of all your crap about people complaining about the casting for Sandman. All the homophobic.
Obviously, he doesn't spend time on the internet, so he don't know.
First off,
he basically told these people to F off. With all your racist and homophobic stuff, he's like, get out of here.
It's the internet. We wouldn't have an internet.
Esoteric beings. He cast a black lady as death.
Well, that's what he said. Well, I think that's what he said.
I don't even understand where the argument is.
Well, that's what he even said. He says
that esoteric concept should be
a white guy. Let's just be honest.
Movies?
Well, no, he said. Well, he goes. If you have a problem with the casting, he says you probably either didn't read the comics or you didn't understand them.
Or both.
Yeah,
we're going to go with both. I'm going to go with both.
Well, if you didn't read it, of course you're not going to understand.
Well, the wiki article went over their head.
Yes.
That's the world we're living in nowadays.
Cliffnotes.com.
Like I said, man, until someone starts talking about Blue Corp,
it's Sparks Notes, old man.
I don't want to hear about anyone's complaint about any changing in casting until I hear a really heartfelt discussion of Blue Corp. I'm sorry, you don't, unless you're going to stand up against Blue Corp, you don't get to complain.
All CGI characters matter.
No, they made him into a Smurf, they made him into a goofball, they changed everything about who Korg is. Nobody cared. Which means it has nothing to do with the importance of the comics and the characters.
Of course it doesn't.
And no, it means you just don't like to see people of color getting work. And it's like, if you don't like if you don't like to see actors get work, don't go to the theater. Your problem is you don't like actors. I'm sorry. That's just, if you don't like the Gypsy Tramps and Thieves, don't go to the show. But you want to go to the show, but you won't have the Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves there? I'm sorry. To quote Mel Brooks from To Be or Not to Be, and this may need to bleep this, without Jewish people, homosexuals, and those who travel, there is no theater. And yes, I completely centered myself on that, but it's funny when Mel Brooks says it, it's funny when Mel Brooks says the offensive lines, because those were words that were used against people that people used to describe themselves and how they created theater. So don't look at me and say, you can't cast that person in that role. It's like, no, you don't know what theater is. Theater is a place of outcasts and people who are going to go entertain you for your freaking amusement, and now you're mad because they're there? Maybe next time don't come to the show.
Of like old Republicans who tell me that they like really old Republicans, if you can follow me, that tell me they grew up watching Star Trek. And I was like, I don't think you got, and they really still love old Star Trek. I'm like, I don't think you understood it.
Well, yeah, that's like people who read comics and are complete buttholes now, and all the racist people, and it's like, oh yeah, I don't want politics in my comics. It's like
have you read a comic book?
Have you read anything from Stan Lee?
I had to correct someone recently to point out that, Superman did not set out punching Nazi. He punched landlords and wife beaters.
Yeah.
There weren't Nazis when Superman started in the U.S., but there were plenty of wife beaters. He did not like those.
Wasn't that actually
Comics landlords that were throwing people out on the street? That's who he fought. Those were his first enemies.
Landlords, wife beaters, and then what is that? Cadillac.
That Cadillac had it coming. Oh, goodness. Beautiful image, though. If nothing else, you have to...
And when they went to go recreate that, people were up in arms, by the way. That recent one they just did with the cover? Yeah, they were... I'm like, you're up in arms about Superman punching Nazis now? Like, we have gone way to the dark side.
Yeah, well, but that's what it always gets back to. It's just like people... And that's what I'll say. There were people who saw Star Trek and enjoyed it, but they weren't people who watched Star Trek and enjoyed it. There were people who looked at comics and enjoyed it, but they weren't people
for the
who
boobies.
read comics.
I get it.
Who Shatner?
You can like the boobies and still read the comic. I will fight you on that.
Oh no, I agree.
I like the boobies. I like the punching. I like all the things that the comic books do. But I also read what the story. I like to know why they're punching the person.
They say Americans do have a low reading comprehension, so that might explain it.
But comic books are written at a 3rd grade level.
Why do you think this...
And newspapers are written at an 8th grade level. Your point, sir?
And why do you think this country's in the state it's in? Less and less people are reading.
Well, yeah.
For leisure, when they're forced to, they do, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah, that's crazy that some people never read another book after they leave high school.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. Honestly, I read comic books, so it's I don't have a lot of time for actual books.
Yeah.
I read everything.
No, but you also have no children. You have dogs who basically eat out of a bowl.
But I'm not even saying a book. It's like, read a comic, read a newspaper, read something, Yeah.
Do they even make newspapers anymore?
Yeah.
They do.
Do they even have the websites for newspapers anymore? Every time I click on one, they're begging for money, so I don't know.
Well,
I'd rather support Wikipedia.
They always made you pay for them, Lilith. You used to have to pay for news. That was a thing. That's how they made news.
Well, I think so.
Sweetie, I'm a child of the late 80s, early 90s, where CNN was a thing always since the day I was born. So.
Well, yeah. Well, you can watch that stuff if you want, but if you want to read
how we get our news.
Article, then, and if you want it for free, you go to NPR and you listen to All Things Considered.
No. You pay for that tote bag.
Well, no, you don't have to pay for the tote bag. Come on, Lilith, I thought you were a
money for that in Florida. NPR, I will support. Well, just PBS in general. I will support public stations because they need our help. Whereas a multi-billion national corporation does not need my money. Sorry. Yeah. Especially when you support sketchy things. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel bad about it.
No, and I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying,
But yeah, I support NPR and PBS. Ever since my first paycheck. Yep.
Yeah, and they give you news and they give you in-depth reporting, and they
can be unbiased. Whereas news nowadays, as unbiased as you can get with a human being, anyway.
Yeah, the problem is that when people start saying bias is facts, it gets weird. It's like It's like I said, I used to be a very conservative Republican, and then what became a conservative Republican was like, what are you guys doing over there? No. Remember, there's like, you have to have your books balanced, and we need to understand the science of things before we move forward, so that we can be practical.
How old are you again?
I am an old man. I admit it.
That's a very long time to go in politics when it was like that.
No,
you can understand someone being a Republican. That was a long time ago.
Well, you know what it is I became a Republican in the first off, and it's kind of weird because you had this whole shift of the New Deal Republicans to the Reagan Republican, to the Reagan Democrats,
and that's where you lost us.
Well, you know what it was it sounded like a good idea at the time because people did and that was the thing. But then Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers, and
I'll never forgive Reagan for creating. Never mind.
Well, he created a lot of stuff. He was in retrospect, but you could believe him because he defended New Deal policies too. That was the thing. He was a child of the 30s, and he understood the importance of certain New Deal policies. The problem was this question is like, well, do we still need to have New Deal policies if we are no longer a country in a depression?
We've always been in a depression. That's the plot twist.
Well, after Reagan, yes, as it turned out, we always.
No, seriously, we really have been.
We have been in a very rough spot since then, but it's like it made sense at the time because, for what it's worth, things weren't that much better under other things. So it's like there were all these things that kind of came to a head that the baby boomers, they cashed out.
Don't you love it when the Gen Xers scapegoat the baby boomers? Don't you just love it?
Hey man,
your empathy is a part of it too, buddy.
You can be serious.
I will say this: Gen Xers, I think, are actually very engaged. They're just much more engaged on a local level. We don't get into that whole, the corporations or this because we're like, I don't know, man. I just go to work. I have a family. I have a community. That's my thing. I can't worry about whether, because we grew up worrying about whether or not Khrushchev was going to drop a bomb on us, or we were going to drop a bomb on Khrushchev. That was our life. And then the 90s happened. And then, oh no, we were just pretending. And now we're back in this place, and we're like, I don't know. You guys fooled me once. I can't go into it again. I can't.
I have 3 words for you to save this country. Senator Maz Manzoor.
It's legally admissible evidence.
Okay, but only if he puts Cory Booker on the ticket.
Oh, nice.
Well, no, as a senator, he wouldn't need to do
Cory
that.
Booker, everybody becomes oh, no.
Here's what I'll say.
Cory Booker can get it.
I think Maz would be a very good leader if he had that desire. But I also know that Maz is probably too intelligent to ever seek political office. That's the problem. At a certain point, you become too well aware of the problems in the system to want to enter into the system.
The corrupt system, yes.
And once you are aware of the problems in the system, it's like, I could live a much happier life. It's like only if you are a narcissist who says, I must build this for the future, do you become someone who builds things for the future. And
nobody becomes a senator without the hopes of becoming a president nowadays anyway. That was my point.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing.
Politics as a career, I don't know.
I don't think Maz is the kind of guy who would want to be president. I think that's way too much work. I think that's
for not enough pay. I agree.
So you're saying
exactly.
So you're saying you have to be a narcissist or an egomaniac. Okay.
Why did your eyes rip over to my body?
That's the problem. That's the problem, which is why I believe in latocracy, where we just make all political offices jury duty, and everyone just gets randomly called up. It's like, no, you got to do your 6 months in Congress, man. You're in charge now. Sorry, dude.
I know what's up, but they should do term limits for everybody.
But then you're kicking out people that are good at their job, Yeah,
but
so it's like,
I don't need somebody that was born in 1931 telling me to do with my body. I'm sorry, your old-fashioned views are outdated and you need to go.
Exactly.
Except that you could still keep on electing people from 1931. It'd just be different guys from 1931. There's still enough of those guys left.
Are there?
Well, I mean, 1931, maybe fewer. Although, to be fair,
I'm pretty sure there's at least 5 people in Congress that were born in 1931. At least. And that's the problem.
Yeah, well, yeah, but 5 votes in Congress, how much is that? You know,
enough to stonewall something.
They know where the bodies are buried.
Well,
enough to stonewall something.
Or to be more likely, they are literally just there to be the body that gets rolled in. And it's like, it's like Pike in Star Trek. We're just beep, 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 beep.
America's a mess, but so is the world. Where are you going to go? Everywhere's
Speaking
terrible.
of Star Trek, it's weird that was as advanced as they got. That's the weirdest thing about Star Trek and any science fiction that lasts for a long time.
Yeah.
Is that you put in ideas that just become ridiculous.
Well, it's like look at the difference between Next Generation and Picard. Next Generation, they had the big view screen still. Picard, you got 3D holographic displays.
Oh yeah, and that's
going
to be outdated in a week.
Why do you think Discovery jumped to the future?
900 years.
They're like, well, we've done enough here in the past.
Yeah. Well, no, but like someone had posted a meme recently, which is like from the original, the Cage pilot, where like the Yoda comes in with a clipboard for the captain to sign.
I'm just saying they did have iPads in Next Generation before anybody. So.
Well, yeah, exactly, because eventually someone said, and to be fair, they already had things like that established, but just the idea of someone thinking, that's going to be a lot of paper. And nobody used to think about that's going to be a lot of paper. Because I guess they figured they would just put it onto microfiche almost immediately and then shred it. But it's ridiculous.
What is this, a library? And I'm doing my 6th grade assignment?
We're doing me now? I'm just talking about the height of 1960s technology.
Try to make you listen to all this, Lilith.
Anyway, Phil, did you have a thing you wanted to talk about tonight?
No, that was it. How about some comics? Yeah, because we're already 6 minutes in.
Hey, kids, comics.
Yeah, let's get the comics.
It was a light week for me.
It was a big week?
Light week. It's always a light week nowadays.
Oh.
It's never a light week for me. I actually have something I want to talk about. Talking about what we were just talking about. My indie of the week, Dark Horse Comics, The Orville Digression, Part 2 of 2, which is taking us through that mirror universe where Mockingbird goes back and doesn't date Family Guy, and that destroys the universe because Isaac doesn't fall in love with the Doctor and doesn't build a bond with humans. And yada, 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 yada. And this is basically gives you all of the freaking backstory of exactly how the humans actually wound up surviving it, because she still reached out at the end when she realized how bad things are going. But it's also this whole thing where it's like she is the 12 Monkeys time traveler, where it's like, look, I know I sound crazy, and everyone's going to think I'm crazy, but here are the things, and here's the knowledge I have that I really shouldn't have. Everyone's like, well, could she have found that stuff out? Are we sure she's not a spy? And all this kind of stuff. It is just crazy, but it is cool. And I did pick this, and I had to actually spot it on the shelf to grab it. And this is the last one on this one, but then the next one is The Road Not Taken. Orville, The Road Not Taken is where we're going next. And so I am excited. I love the Orville comics.
Is that still a TV show, though? Is it on Hulu or something?
It's supposed to, but Seth doesn't. Seth MacFarlane, he doesn't want to do the acting anymore.
Yeah,
he never wants to do anything anymore.
And they don't want to do it without him. So yeah, so they're
because he is the comedic heart. They want to. He's saying just make it about her. Make her the captain. Let her run the show. She's a great actress. I'm forgetting the actress who plays Mocking.
Adrian Pilecki.
Yes,
Adrian. He says, give Adrian Pilecki the ship. I'll stay on. I'll executive produce. I'll make sure we have the vibe. But they kind of make an interesting point in this, which is like, No, because you see, the whole reason why you work is because you're the goofy captain. And it kind of makes an interesting parallel within the whole concept. It's like, no, we need to have the goofy captain because that is the heart and soul of this universe. That we have a captain that isn't, who wasn't even supposed to be here today, but he's a guy, he's got all these weird, they even call it out in this series because, like, his captain's like, you're referencing these things from 200 years ago that no one even knows what the heck you're talking about.
Oh, you mean like a captain who just goes on and on about baseball? There you go, Will. There's a
exactly, But the idea, hey, at least baseball exists as a concept. Yeah. This guy is like calling out specific episodes of Friends.
That's why he relates to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's great for us, to know because we get the references. But you realize
that who are really into opera, like, come on, what's the last great modern opera? I'll wait.
Well, and to be fair, every time that, like, Picard quotes Shakespeare, it's like, I'm sorry, who? What? Is that from the Saga of Kalis by Smeggy the Many Tentacled? I don't know. I've never heard of this person. Shakespeare? Is that, like, is he Shakespeare? Is he a guy who held a spear? What is that? I don't know. But, no, but the Orville is great, as always. If you love the Orville and you're missing it, pick up the books. They're great. They're fantastic. It is a fully realized universe, and it's worth the read.
Nice.
All right, Lil, if you got one you want to throw up?
Yeah, I got two, actually. So I want to shout out when Amanda Connors and Jimmy Promote do good things. I want to reward them with praise. So the Invincible Red Sonja #2 is awesome. Tons of Poison Ivy and Harley vibes with the person that Red Sonja is supposed to be protecting. It's a princess on her wedding day. If you're interested, just saying.
Oh, who's the Harley in that situation?
The princess. Red Sonja is very much Poison Ivy. Very much Poison Ivy vibes, and I don't mind it at all. But the art is so beautiful. Like the cover for #2, if you passed it in the comic book and you didn't pick it up, I don't know what's wrong with you. That's all I'm saying. The cover alone, I would pay the $4 for. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is definitely redemption time for them for that Harley crap that they pulled with me. So I'm enjoying it. It's a mystery and it's fun and like comedic with like, no sexual innuendo. So it's a change for them. They're growing up. Our kids are growing up, guys.
To be fair, it's in the Sumerian age, so a lot of the references wouldn't make a lot of sense. Especially since beavers are native to North America. So it's like, you're not going to be able to make that joke.
Like, honestly, they ruined Harley Quinn so bad that I didn't think there would be any redemption for them. So I'm very impressed. So I'm starting to think that those beaver jokes were editorial mandates. I'm just saying. I'm starting to think.
It's entirely possible.
But yeah, the artwork alone, I'm telling you, Moriarty is absolutely stunning. And she's actually a little more covered up than she has ever been. So if that whole thing with Red Sonja kind of bothered you, you might want to pick it up.
All right, now me with
I always thought metal bikinis would pinch too much myself.
Like he hasn't tried it.
No, I haven't because I thought they would pinch too much. I mean, really, come on, fella, just said.
I know.
Just a little WD-40, you'll be all right.
All right, I don't throw out this book a lot, but I thoroughly enjoyed it this week. X-Force #20. I know really Hellfire Gala. I thought this is gonna be, but there were some good moments in here because everyone's showing up for this Hellfire Gala. Quentin Quire and Tony Stark trying to outdouche each other. Oh my god!
Yeah.
What, did you read it?
Yeah, of course I did.
Oh, I thought you weren't reading X-Force.
I do.
But you know what's coming, right? You know
it's Hellfire Gala. How could I not? Like Chantel would be disappointed if I didn't read it.
But you know what's coming, right? Who Wolverine gets in a fight with? Who tries to invade the island? Deadpool.
Yeah. Now, hey, I heard Adsid is in this. Is Adsid in it? Did you see him? Because Adsid just is one of those guys who's like, it's Scott Adsid. Because he's actually supposed to be the actor Adsid, but in this universe he's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and he's associated with Deadpool. So I was very fascinated that he would be there. So
unless he's in the background, I don't think he's in this.
I was gonna say, was that supposed to be an Easter egg? Because I don't.
It's one of the Easter eggs, I guess.
Yeah, there's a list of celebrities, and they really didn't show.
Yeah, there's a list of celebrities, and that was one of them was Adsit.
Yeah,
but since Adsit's actually a character in universe, it's not like, oh look, Eminem is there. It's like, oh, what does that mean? Is Eminem really a mutant in this universe? Maybe, probably, sure, why not? But the idea of Adsit being there makes it an interesting thing to me, just because I know that character is part of the Deadpool universe, and so him being there opens up doors.
They're not going to give you that right away, Charlie Esser.
I want it right away, Phil. I will not wait for my Easter eggs.
But
those Cadburys right now.
But I'm a 12-year-old boy, Lil, so it's like, I just love the Wolverine Deadpool fight. And he's like, the great thing about healing factors, right? No holds barred as he shoots Wolverine right in the face.
Not in the face. I mean, at this point, that's what I want to do to Wolverine too. He's so oversaturated. Like, it's like when him and Deadpool show up, it's just like at this point.
And just the final entry, journal entry by Deadpool. You want it. You want me in you, X-Force.
No, we actually don't. We want you to have your fun adventures by yourself.
I mean, they kind of cool down.
I still don't understand. Is he really a mutant?
Tangentially.
Well, that's what he even says.
It's like Solar. Solar, I guess, is a mutant, but he had latent mutant abilities awakened by walking through the desert.
I always thought, at least in the comics, they gave him like an artificial healing factor. So, because he even says in here, he's like, on the island, he's like, I'm a mutant. And Wolverine's like, no, you're not. He's like, I'm an honorary mutant.
Yeah, exactly. Tangentially.
Yeah. Because he was introduced in the world. Yeah.
But they freaking closed the door on Franklin Richards?
Well, Deadpool
because he's such a BA.
Deadpool crashed.
That we had to.
Deadpool crashed. Deadpool wasn't invited.
I know, but I'm just saying, Hickman is such a BA. Disappoint me. You disappoint me, Hickman, that you're going to shut the door on poor old Franklin.
Not until he's useful. We don't bring him out until he's useful.
See, that I think is editorial mandate. I'm like, no, you can't explain everything about Franklin right now. We all know the blocks, and we saw him with trauma. He's Phobos' kid, I believe.
All right, anyone else got any books to throw out?
I got tons of books, though. Yeah. Go ahead,
just one more indie. It's kind of a weird one, but stick with me. It's called Betty Page, The Curse of the Banshee, #1. So, they had done a whole nother series with Betty Page. So I was really interested in picking this one up. This one is like X-Files meets early Playboy pinup girls trying to solve a mystery with very neo-noir vibes. It's written by Stephen Mooney, and the art is by Jethro Morales. And this is from Dynamite Entertainment, and of course it's $3.99 because that's the standard because it's 2021. But yeah, it was worth it for sure. It was very fun and interesting, and I'm looking forward to more of these kind of fun adventures. I like that Dynamite's kind of off the beaten path, and they just do wacky stuff.
Nice. Wait, what was the name of that again?
Betty Page, The Curse of the Banshee, #1.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out who actually made this, because it's got a DC logo on it, but I didn't think this was an actual DC book. Batman 0.4.
Yeah, that's that's DC, because it's on DC Universe Infinite. Like I told you, they've been throwing them up almost same day.
Okay, well, that's weird, because I thought all the Fortnites were under a different brand. I didn't know that DC had gotten their brand on it. I thought that it had been.
It might be a co-venture with Titan somewhere deep in the annals of the paperwork.
I mean, hey, it's free advertising.
I'm going to say this right now. I've been loving this book up until this, and I haven't stopped loving this book, but I'm like, okay, now you're losing me a little bit.
I didn't read that one yet. What happened?
Well, we get there. They, of course, Catwoman's been... Because, Batman just showed up. He doesn't have his memories yet. Catwoman has been captured by Deathstroke. Catwoman signals Batman, and he knows she's going to do something, so
is Catwoman in
she gets away. But then, Deathstroke's like, hey, look. I'm really not your enemy. I kind of want to talk to you about what's going on. And then we get all of our castmates here who also are stranded. It's basically a real lore dump issue. And this I kind of feel was like not cool is, okay, spoilers. It's going to be a little hard for you if you are a fan of Fortnite. Kill Fishstick, man. He has a noble sacrifice. He gives Batman the thing that he found.
Giant-sized man thing?
No, a little tiny thing. A little tiny mechanical thing.
Man thing.
And he basically says one of the people, one of the group, is in on it. Now, of course, we're all imagining that it's Deathstroke. We all think it's Deathstroke.
Slade!
Especially since Deathstroke, it's like we all call him Deathstroke. It's like, why would you do that? Because they call the Bat and the Cat and the Raider, like they all have like weird little names, including Fishstick. In fact, Fishstick, I love Fishstick. How could you kill Fishstick? You made me feel for this character, and then you kill them. It makes me very mad. But
you mustn't be afraid to kill your darlings, Charlie.
I know. But Fishstick even makes a statement where they say, yeah, they all call me Fishstick. I feel like I should be offended by that, but I don't really have time for it. And that's a beautiful. Again, there are these great. This is a very well written comic. I don't know who are the people on this. I think they should put them in charge of most of these DC stuffs because they're doing a good job getting to the core of the character. This is Donald Mustard. Oh, it's Colonel Mustard Skid. Donald Mustard, concept and story consultant. Oh, okay, no, the writer is Christos Gage, so no one it's good. I do like Christos' stuff, and they are really translating it well. So thank you, Christos, for this good book. And this is your lore dump issue. This is a very here's what's happening kind of issue. So it's not as exciting as the last couple where you really got to see Batman boiled down to the essence of being the world's greatest detective. Although in this one, again, they like call it out. It's like, you're not exactly the world's greatest detective, are you? You know.
Only in Gotham. It's a curve.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I still like the Batman 0 points. My son made me buy them, and they're $5 issues. Thank goodness I got a good job. Because like if I didn't have a good job, I'd be like, I'm sorry, son. That's not the kind of things our people can afford. Because that's capitalism.
Late stage.
Well, that's what we got, so. All right. I've never been in any of the other capitalisms, so this is the only one I've been in, so. If there was some glorious capitalism of the past, I don't know what it was.
I think early stage capitalism might have been worse than late stage capitalism, so touche, sir.
Honestly, now that I've been reading all this history, it turns out it's always been pretty awful.
Speaking of capitalism...
Did you hear about Tulsa? Those folks was rich!
Speaking of capitalism and dollar signs, I'm sure we all read Black Cat number 7.
Of course, naturally. This book is so great. I don't want Sony to have their hands on this character.
Oh.
Well, so far they haven't.
They were talking about it, but yeah, didn't they put the kibosh on that?
We'll see. We'll see. We got some other negotiations coming up.
Take her, Disney.
I get the feeling Marvel said, maybe you don't want to do that. You know? Or the mouse said, maybe you don't want to do that.
I'm sure there's somebody...
Maybe that's not a good idea.
Like, hey, man, we can have our own Catwoman. Come on.
Exactly.
She's better than Catwoman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they boiled it down to some suit. They're like, yeah, we can have our own Catwoman.
I would never let you defame Catwoman like that. No, she's not.
I will say this: Catwoman is all stuck up on one dude.
Not necessarily. I don't know what Catwoman you've been reading, but that's not always been the Catwoman.
Wow. Fair enough.
Let
me tell you this: DC is MJ and Catwoman.
We'll see.
I know Wolf will say I'm making a Friends joke, but Catwoman and Batman, they are on a break.
Exactly. I hope it stays that way between us, but
yeah, probably. I mean, it's probably better for both characters.
So yeah, not a lot happened this issue. I mean, basically, she got Black Fox banished.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Again, this is okay. When you say not a lot happened this issue,
no, I was
everything
joking.
happened this issue.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
Do I need a sign?
This is your last 5 minutes of Ocean's Anything, where they. But here's what really happened. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. What is that?
Sarcasm sign.
Oh, okay. Yes. That wasn't an emoji. Oh, by the way, speaking of late stage capitalism, the Desert of Gold is such a beautiful image here.
Oh yeah, Mr. DuckTales. There you go.
Woohoo!
Well, no, but the idea that and they even really present it as a desert of gold. Nothing lives here.
Except for greed.
Except, does that even... It's sort of like the idea that, dragons don't hoard gold because they like gold. It's because they excrete certain chemicals and they need a base metal that is non-reactive to lay upon to make their nests. Because if they didn't lay upon that, it would just be very uncomfortable for them. And so gold actually serves a super practical purpose for dragons, and why humans want it, they don't even understand, because humans don't even make their beds out of it.
It's the crow brain! Shiny, gimme!
Well, but it's interesting in this, and we get our young, handsome Black Fox, back when he actually was the Black Fox. And they make the point about, he is a coward, but he's always been a coward, and he holds that with pride. And man, Black Cat double-crosses him, and
she
blows up the deed to Manhattan.
Yep. What is that? A lighter on a timer?
Well, what's weird about that is, really, it was that, okay, so this is is this the sacred object that controls Manhattan? But no, it's totally flammable. No, you could just burn it whenever you wanted. It's fine. It's
I think it's what it represented more than what it was actually made out of.
Yeah.
But can we talk about how character-driven this book is and what a refreshing change of pace that is, especially for a female-led character book?
Oh, yeah, this is the best Black Cat's ever been written, yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's just amazing in this book, and
they've really fleshed her out, and I'm glad.
And they're really making us wait. This is like the beginning of June.
Just in time for Pride.
I know. Oh, yes. I was going to say, I don't think have they ever showed that before? Black Cat bisexual, I guess.
What's weird is, I feel like that was always the case.
She had a vibe, but we haven't had confirmation, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think we've had it. I mean, here's what I'll say.
Confirmed.
I've honestly felt that throughout this entire run.
Mm-hmm.
This was, to me, that was always the will they, won't they. And was, on the will they side, will they, to me, it was always yeah, they obviously are in that position to be in a relationship, that neither one is objecting to that idea, but it's that because they're in that antagonist position, that's the problem. It's not that what I don't kiss. No, I never got a I don't kiss girl vibe from Black Cat in this story. Or honestly, to me, any story I've ever read about Black Cat, I've never felt whoa, I don't know. It's kissing a girl? What if I don't like it? Well,
But she did kiss a girl and she did like it.
She did, just like Katy Perry.
That's right.
Hopefully not in a queer baby way that Katy Perry did it, but whatever.
Well, I don't know.
I could even see Black Cat just being I made you fall in love with me so I could rip you off or something.
Yeah, I will say this,
She's take a lesson from Flash Thompson.
What I'm going to say is, you know what? Just because you kiss a girl and you like it doesn't mean that's the only thing you're going to kiss and the only thing you're going to like. So you can't be pushing where you wind up on who you are, because who you are is who you are, and you don't know me.
I don't think the media knows that bisexuality actually exists, so this will be refreshing if they actually acknowledge it. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
bi-erasure is a thing.
Yes, it is. I will agree.
Look at poor Sarah Lance.
Yeah.
But why are they making us wait so long? Look, this is the beginning of June. Next issue isn't out till July 28th.
It's only a month, though.
That's over a month, dude. I mean, it's...
Oh, well, if
closer
you count,
to 2
days. But it's like we got one in June, we get one in July.
Yeah, but beginning of June, end of July. It's almost 2 months. I'm just saying, I love this book. I want more.
I understand, but you gotta let the artists take.
You know, time. We got a summer crossover. We gotta like bob and weave through.
Oh, so, you know. Crossing over with those annuals. Yes.
So yeah, I understand if they take a little bit of a break.
They decided to come back to annuals. Yeah.
It always comes back to the annuals.
Yeah. Do we want to talk that annual, or do you want to save that for?
I think Super? You guys can save that for Super.
She's like Iron Man.
Connectivity. Mama's sober. It's Friday night. She don't like it.
Oh, hey, real quick for you Naomi fans, Justice League 62, Naomi and the League go to Naomi's homeworld.
Oh, that's a nice little cover. Cool beans.
Written by Mr. You-know-who.
Bendis.
Yes.
Oh, good old Mr. Bendis.
Was it a good story or was it talky? Did it have action or was it talky?
There was actually action.
Okay.
There's a couple big bruisers there, and like Superman and Black Adam's powers are all... Well, everyone's powers are all funky, but meanwhile Black Canary can like really do a canary cry here.
Yay! Justice for Black Canary. At least he got that right. I guess she's going to be the Jessica of the group now.
I don't know. Just in this... I mean, yeah, it looks like an apocalypse.
And has a type.
Looks like an apocalypse or something has hit Naomi's world, so...
So Apocalypse goes like interdimensional now?
No, just like a generic apocalypse.
Random generic, a crisis on an Earth.
An apocalypse, not the apocalypse.
And the sell for Charlie Esser, of course. The last couple issues of Justice League have had a Justice League Dark backup.
Yay! Except I don't read that book, so oh well.
Justice League Dark? I thought you were reading that book.
I was reading.
He's not going to pick up Justice League for Justice League Dark backup. Is what he's saying.
Look, man, Heroes Reborn is going on. I got too many. I'm like at twice my old budget for comics, man. I'm not used to having money to spend on comics.
Charlie's picking up my slack. Thank God.
It's like, oh my gosh,
I was worried about the comic book companies
now, and I'm buying comic books like they're going out of style. It's like I don't know, man. This is me.
That's a little list of comics, little sloppy seconds.
I'm used to like counting out my pennies. Like, man, can I get another book? I'm like, you pull an extra.
I thought you had a good job.
I have a good job. That's the problem.
But he also has kids and a wife. That's expensive
too. That's the thing. It's like we're a two-income family, and that's scary because I've never had that kind of money. It's worrisome. It's like, this can't last. I don't know. This is too good, man. I'm living the American dream. Someone's going to shoot me.
What a Gen Xer you are.
Yeah, man.
No, seriously. They're it's very Gen X thing for you to say.
I was supposed to be dead in a nuclear apocalypse by now.
You might just get your wish, sir.
All right.
Yeah, they keep on teasing me, but I've lost faith in even that. I'm like, yeah, sure. You're going to blow up the planet. Okay. Right. And you're just trying to get me to buy a bomb shelter.
Whoa. All right. Enough with the generational insults. Should we get out of here?
Let's do it.
All right, kids. This has been your Capes and Lunatics. Yes. You heard a lot about politics and pop culture, comics. So share your thoughts. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find links to all of our various shows, links to this YouTube channel. See both Hellfire not use that green screen. Links to the Patreon, more and more coming up there. Links to merch. Stay hydrated. Links to everything, all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to please support everything Southgate Media Group. Go to southgatemediagroup.com. Check out the website. Oh, and hey, Southgate Media Group has a Patreon too. There's a lot of free content there. All the regular podcasts go up there for free. And plus, the stuff Rob doesn't want to admit we do on Patreon. You got to pay for that, though. So yeah, go pick that up. And of course, pick up Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. Supposedly audio version coming soon. Third
best Southgate's doing his third best Southgate best, okay?
Oh, she's working him around the house, man. He's working like 16-hour days fixing up the house, from what I hear. All right, so yes, pick up the book and more on Amazon when you do, because hey, kids, Father's Day's coming. Go pick up your father something on Amazon. Use the link for Southgate Media Group. Yeah, Tristan, Father's Day's coming. Get on the ball.
Their only money is
buy him the Batman Fortnite book next week.
I thought your wife had a job too. Hey.
That's not how money works with children, though.
I know.
I thought you had one. I don't know.
I do.
He's not old enough yet for all that. Although you should be paying that poor boy for all that yard work you got him doing. Yeah, Luke, I'll fight for your right for $15 an hour.
He'll be out there all summer. All right, so yes, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network. And is he a Gen Xer? Is he a boomer?
He's definitely a Gen Xer.
He's every man. Rob, but Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. And you will find out I am right so much more often than I'm wrong. Yeah. Why did your eye drift over to my box?
All right, Lilith, where can people find your salty take on things?
If you want to find me on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, live tweeting legends when I remember, and not making content on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire 69, and making a comment on almost every single video now on TikTok at Lilith Hellfire 69. Also, if you want to see me using green screen, tell StreamYard to have the option in Firefox and not just Chrome.
Oh. I was about to say, you did good tonight, so here, this one's for you, Lilith.
Does Russell like it long? Does Russell like it hard? No, he just likes it wild, like an animal.
Oh.
Boom!
Wild, like an animal.
All right, Charlie Esser, where can the people find you?
Well, you always write to me that old-fashioned email way that our mothers and fathers once stayed at superconnectivityblog at gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet Legend of Tomorrow when a new episode comes out, because there wasn't one this weekend. And I got very mad because I couldn't get it, but then I was like, oh, it wasn't one anyway, so yay. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIE, ESLCR. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
Oh, no one probably told him about the Superman and Lois twist, did they?
Who, me? I don't know. What was the new twist?
Captain Luthor is not Captain Luthor. He is actually...
No, he's Steel.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh!
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Okay, I've got no... I'm waiting for Green Lantern to show up.
You'll be waiting, sir.
HBO Max, sir.
You know, I don't know, man.
There's a whole series coming on HBO Max.
I want my Alan Scott Green Lantern.
He's going to be on HBO Max.
Well, no, I mean, I want the ring, but okay, yeah, fine. We'll see him when we get there.
He might show up on Stargirl, so fingers crossed.
I know, and you know, not for nothing, AT&T just sold Warner Brothers or something. I don't know.
Hey,
Warner Brothers Discover? What the frickle swackle is that? Oh my God! How did I block that out all night?
So
I don't even know what's going on with all that stuff. So I'm like,
for another week, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics! Emphasis on S this week.
Whoa! Step in the S on your way out, kid.
Don't fall on your S. That's the most
important. Don't let the door hit you in the S.
Bye-bye!
Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.